Some pretty interesting news just dropped about starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, potentially backup depending on how the season would have went, but that is Sean Murphy-Bunting. If you guys haven't seen it, let's go ahead and check it out. Per Ian Rappaport, he says the Arizona Cardinals today just placed cornerback Sean Murphy-Bunting on the reserve non-football injury list, which will end his 2025 season before it even begun. Some notable facts about this is the Cardinals are not obligated to pay Sean Murphy-Bunting's base salary of $7.6 million if they don't want to. He still will remain under contract. Murphy-Bunting started 15 games for us last season, and he had 3 interceptions, but those were not a great 15 games, and we were kind of struggling watching him play, and he was kind of struggling not to hold on to people. And you could say he was struggling to cover, but hey, it is what it is. Sean Murphy-Bunting is sidelined for 2025. I think the Cardinals will pay him his salary. It's interesting to see if they will or not, because I'm not the GM. I am not the owner. I don't know if they're going to go forward with that contract or what they even want to do, but they're not obligated to pay that. Very interesting. But this bodes kind of well for us because Sean Murphy-Bunting is a guy that I really didn't know where he was going to go. I said he was going to be benched to start the year. I was 50-50 on it at the beginning of the season or the beginning of the offseason. I was saying they're probably going to start him, but then I shifted. If you guys remember the defensive, offensive starter predictions, I actually lean more towards Max Melton. And if you guys don't remember, let me go ahead and pull that graphic up. This is what I had as our starting defense. As you guys see, our defensive ends, BJ Ojulari and Josh Sweat. Those are our edges, Dalvin Tomlinson and Walter Nolan. You could honestly put Calais Campbell instead of Walter Nolan. You could slate him in there, or you could just rock Walter Nolan. You also have Darius Robinson. But I mean, first round pick Walter Nolan, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt right now. I mean, it could easily be Calais Campbell with just the rotation, get the best tick out of Calais Campbell early, and then just use him as a rotational piece when he is very pivotal. Then you got Akeem Davis-Gaither. Again, I misspelled so much. Mac Wilso, Akeem Davy-Gaither. Like, I know, there's a lot of mistypes. I also have Garrett Wilson with one R. Or Garrett Williams with one R. I know, I get it. But then I had Mac Wilson at the other inside linebacker. And then we get to the safeties, Buda, Jalen, and then corners, which we're kind of focused on today. I have Will Johnson, Garrett Williams, and Max Melton. You also have Starling Thomas. You have Denzel Burke, who the Cardinals drafted. You potentially have other guys in the back end, too. It's going to be interesting to see how the cornerback room shapes out after this, because we also have Elijah Jones, who was taken in the 3rd round. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. We have a lot of players, a lot of good football players that the Cardinals are going to look to get a ton out of. Now, how will this corner room shape out? Will it be a rotational piece? Is Will Johnson actually going to elevate and be that guy that we hope he is? That's the question, but I like the talent that we have. If Max Melton can step up, this is a pretty dang good starting defense. Now, inside linebacker does scare me. That pops out the most. Edge is still a little concerning on the opposite side of Josh Sweat, but I'm not mad at this roster whatsoever. It is definitely a clear upgrade, and the defensive line stands out, but the corners, it's nice, it's youthful, and I love it. Also, some things to note about the Sean Murphy-Bunting incident. Apparently, the Cardinals knew about this. They knew his injury, and they did influence their draft selection. So, obviously, getting Denzel Burke, getting Will Johnson. They knew Sean Murphy-Bunting was not going to be playing this season, or there was a chance he was probably going to sit out because of the injury. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to shape out, because if you guys see, we're kind of loaded with talent, but how is this talent going to shape out? I can guarantee, like my absolute guarantees to make the roster are Garrett Williams, Will Johnson, Starling Thomas, Max Melton, and probably Elijah Jones. I would assume Denzel Burke too and Starling Thomas, but that's a lot of corners to roster. I could already tell you, you got Boye Doe, he's gone. Darren Hall, probably gone. Jaden Davis, gone. You could probably get away with keeping the top guys and Catrell Clark being a practice squad guy. Like, that's probably the corners that I would rock, is just those 6. Garrett Williams, Max Melton, Starling, Elijah Jones, Will Johnson, Denzel Burke. Those are the guys I would rock going into 2025, with probably Catrell Clark as that pivotal practice squad guy. I don't really think anyone's going to pick him up, and if anyone gets injured, then you bring him up. Catrell Clark plays pretty dang good for us, so I like him as a player, but we're kind of just loaded with young talent, and I think you just rock with the youth movement and let it go. Also, per Josh Weinfuss, he said, I'm hearing the Cardinals may also bring in a free agent cornerback with some experience, and I'm very, I don't know. Where are you going to go with that? Because it's not going to be Jalen Ramsey. You're not going to want to go out and you're not going to want to make a trade. That doesn't make sense to me. So where are you going to pivot? We can take a look at the free agents in just a second, but in my eyes, you're not going to go out and make a splash move. You got Will Johnson. You want to see what the youth movement's talking about. He is a heck of a football player, a heck of a prospect. You want to see what talent you got. You also have Denzel Burke, who was really good in college from a big name program. Got to see what you got there. Like, the talent is there. The youth movement is there. You kind of just have to ride this out. And I don't know, bringing a veteran, it just edges one of those guys out in the back end too. Maybe a Starling Thomas, Elijah Jones, Denzel Burke. It's going to edge one of them out as well if you do bring in a vet. So I say rock youth movement because there's no one that in free agency that I'm really loving. For you guys to see right here, like, who do we bring in that is actually going to help this team? I don't like the top three. James Bradbury doesn't make any sense. Kendall Fuller doesn't make sense. And Rasul Douglas off the rip just don't make any sense to me. You're going to take valuable minutes, valuable shine away from these prospects, and you don't do that for one of those guys. Now, if you feel like you're in a position to contend, maybe a Stephon Gilmore, who just had a good season in Minnesota. I've been pitching for him to come to Arizona for the longest. He is a heck of a corner, heck of good instincts, and like Stephon Gilmore, I love everything about him. If we're going to go get a vet, you might as well get somebody who can instantly become your starting corner on the other side of Will Johnson and teach him a thing or two. That's a corner I would not be opposed to. Now, the age is a concern, but the play on the field is still really, really good. Mike Hilton, stay away. That Cincinnati defense is terrible. Mike Hilton also on the wrong side of 30. It's not what you want in this situation, especially in terms of production. Just see what you got in Max Melton at that point. CJ Henderson, man, what a whiff by Jacksonville. That did not pan out whatsoever, and it is not a move the Cardinals should make whatsoever. Shaquille Griffin, stay away. Michael Davis, stay away. Emmanuel Mosley, stay away. Arthur Mollett, stay away. Asante Samuel Jr. would be interesting, but he's dealing with an injury, so stay away. Antonio Hamilton, like, if you bring him back, that makes no sense to me. Fabian Moreau, again, makes no sense. Cameron Sutton, Eli Apple, absolutely not. Stay away from Eli Apple at all costs. If you bring him in, I am going to freak out. Jalen Mills, and then Troy Hill. Like, who on this list are you guys bringing in? Because me, there's one name, and that's Stephon Gilmore if I am entertaining a free agent corner. Because Sean Murphy-Bunting, that's the veteran guy you're talking about to lead on the bench. But this guy can come in here and actually play some good minutes. And if you're not going to pay Sean Murphy-Bunting, which I think do right by the player, you do that. You pay him the salary. But if you don't, then guess what? Stephon Gilmore, instant. You can just sign him to $7 million, and he'll probably sign for that. His market value is 5.3. If you sign him to like a $5.8 million contract, $6 million contract, I'm assuming he's going to take that. And that is the one player on this entire list that I like. You guys let me know down below, but that is it for me. If not, I'm rocking the youth movement. I like what we have. I think we have some good depth. Just see what we got at this point. But if you're going to bring in anybody and that holds true, then Stephon Gilmore has my eye. I guess he's necessarily not like a scheme fit. He loves to play man coverage, but it's Stephon Gilmore. He'll figure it out. He is really good. The instincts are there, and just the on-play ability, that's the best free agent available in my opinion. But if the Cardinals just rock with the youth movement, I think that is perfectly fine. You guys let me know how you're feeling about this. Sean Murphy-Bunting, hopefully everything is straight with you. Hopefully you're chilling, because obviously the play on the field, I'm not a big fan of, and I will make that very known. The holding call is just the play on the field. Not a fan. But off the field, you know, I'm hoping for the best for all the players regardless. What they do on the field doesn't really translate off it. I'm not going to wish them bad off the field just because they don't perform on the field. You guys know, was not a fan of on-play field. But at the end of the day, hopefully everything is good for him. Blessings to you. And hopefully the Cardinals pay a salary. I think that is the right thing to do. But you guys let me know how you guys are feeling about the entire situation down below. But with that being said, that is going to wrap up today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, consider hitting that subscribe button. I post Arizona Cardinals and NFL related content. So if you're a fan of either of those, this is the perfect channel for you. But once again, like I said, that is all I got for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. It's been your boy Mythic. Peace out.